In a universe where life does not end at death, we explore the infinite possibilities forged by our very minds. Welcome to Arthadian Anthologies. Before we get started, I just want to inform you that this series was recorded over Discord. If the quality dips, it's due to connection issues. Greetings, fellow travelers and storytellers. Welcome to a Reborn in Power series featuring Dr. Cal and his creation, Proto. Follow along as he learns how to live and survive beyond the confines of the Zelek dynasty. Last time, in The Doctor, Dr. Cal was going through a bit of a psyche realization. The energies that flow through the core presented themselves to you in a manner that dove deep into your own subconscious mind. And you were able to reach a place within the quantum realm that held a temple of a sort. Upon attempting to make your way towards this temple, there were some strange creatures that began to come out of this like liquid pond that ended up creating these what looked like water droplets, but then they formed into physical embodiments that looked like you and were trying to grab onto you. You don't know exactly why, but you were able to evade all of them and reach this temple that was actually a pyramid, and you were able to channel your own energy into the pyramid as it unlocked and allowed you inside. Upon entering, you heard a voice that called itself the Kinetic. And thus, Dr. Cal, you learned about this being that refers to itself as the first Kinetic, and entered into this liquid, almost tub of some kind, and then your energy, your health, your stamina replenished, and you woke up. You see Proto is there, and he asked you if you're alright. You asked him how long you were asleep for. He said it was only just like a couple minutes. And you are there inside the chamber with the rest of the, well, not with them, but this is Commander Kurter's squad chamber, his squadron. It is right now. It is kind of late.
Okay. I feel bad for asking this question, but it has been a few weeks since we've talked about this.
What's up?
Didn't Dr. Cal become a consultant for this squad specifically?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just double checking because I remember, like, I'm kind of assigned to these guys.
You are,
I'm not fully part of Core Command, but I'm working with Core Command.
You are a consultant that is working alongside Commander Carter's squad.
Okay.
Which is why you are inside their chamber.
I'm just making sure because it's been, like, what is it, 3 weeks since we've talked about that? Yes. No, it's been like 2. No, it's been 3, I think.
Yes, but you are in here. Proto is standing there, and he looks over, and he's like, Creator, I think I want to talk to you about something.
Oh, sorry, Proto. Give me a second. I might need a nap from the nap I just had.
You want to take a nap now again?
No. Let me just... and Dr. Cal kind of gets up, and he goes over towards the kitchen area.
Okay.
And he tries just getting a real cold glass of water.
Okay, you go over and you're able to find some ice cubes inside the freezer.
Oh, wait, no. Dr. Cal doesn't. Dr. Cal just gets a glass of ice.
Okay.
And he just puts an ice cube in his mouth. And he just puts it inside of his cheek. Okay. And he just walks back over to Proto with a cup of ice.
And Proto looks at you and is like, Cal, are you sure you're okay?
Yes, Proto, I'm okay. Just, I need a little something. And you kind of hear him crunch on the ice. Mm-hmm. And he's just kind of sitting there until Proto says something. He's just crunching on ice.
You haven't done a diagnostic check on me.
Oh, right. I can't make an ice crunching sound effect. That probably won't pick up well over the mic. Editing power. I'm joking. I'm not you. I'm not editing this. Dr. Cal just puts another piece of ice in his mouth. It's like, oh, okay. Give me a second. Diagnostic. I'm gonna need a codex for. And he double checks and gets his codex out of his backpack.
Okay, you get your codex out of your backpack and you see on the codex a message from Liam.
Oh, what does he have to say?
He specifies that it was just a white screen.
Well, that's disappointing. And Dr. Cal just types just white, disappointing, but he does it pretty fast, so it misspells.
That's disappointing.
And he just sends it.
Yeah.
And then he kind of looks back up at Proto. Oh, right, that's what we were working on. I guess it's time to do a diagnostic. Do you want to sit down?
It's been time for a while, Cal. But yes, please do so.
Will we? Wait, how long have I said I wanted to do? Dr. Cal thinks for a moment. Dr. Cal is, as we have played this character, the more forgetful Dr. Cal becomes. I love it. And he kind of gets do you want to sit down somewhere, Proto, or just?
Sure. I'm here. And he sits down and he's like, do you want to go behind me or do you want me to kind of put my butt towards you?
Dr. Cal just kind of gets up and goes behind him in the chair.
Okay, he puts his head down and you see on the back of his neck the little slot that allows you to kind of open up and check his diagnostics.
I open that up.
You go and open it up. I would like you to roll me a computers or coding.
Computers or coding. Well, computers makes more sense in this scenario, and they're both the exact same for Dr. Cal.
So it doesn't matter.
It literally
Well, it does. It does
matter.
kind of. It does kind of.
I do computers because, as we all know, Proto is more of a computer than a code. 11 plus 12 plus 6. So 17 plus 12, which I think makes a pretty small number of 29.
Pretty small number, yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Callis. I can't even laugh at that. That's a damn good roll.
Okay, as you go and access his diagnostic system, you begin to see drastic changes from before.
Okay, what is different?
You see that it actually shows you the difference from the last time you did a diagnostic check to the present, and the changes between them.
Once again, I need a character, like just out of character. The last time we did this was when I figured out Proto had metal bones.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Which was like session 5 or 4 or something.
And this is session 13?
13, yes.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Mm-hmm. But as you look at this, you see on his actual personality matrix, you notice that he is drastically different. He has a lot more empathy now. He is not as angry as he was before. He seems to be adapting to certain aspects of life. And it also looks like he also has a potential skill upgrade.
So the big differences were person, like, coding wise.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Man, that almost makes me want to go back inside of your mind. And it seems like he's kind of looking around, looking at like small differences, like just like real small things. He actually tries pulling up if there's like a timeline of how these changes were implemented.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another.
I assume an AI would document when it changes.
Go ahead and roll me another computers check.
You think this would be computers instead of coding, Matt?
Computers check.
You're the dungeon master.
I'm the lore master. Excuse me.
Hey, Matt. I didn't mean to get all your.
You offended me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Matt. I forgot. I was gonna say something that I remember you don't edit these videos too heavily from what I say, so I was like, that's probably not a good idea to say that to Matt. 20.
20. Okay. You begin to go into to see where certain changes occurred. Some of the points in which it changes it looks like it's encrypted. You're not sure why.
It's been a while since I've done this. Is Proto awake when I'm doing diagnostics?
Yeah, it looks like he is.
Proto,
yes.
did you encrypt your own code?
And he tries to move, but he doesn't, and he's like, I don't know. Did I?
I'm just asking, because some of these... I tried looking through your coding...
Did you access the upgrade that I have?
Yes, it's a skill upgrade. I haven't looked at it.
I mean, are you going to do that, or would you want to wait on that? But if we're waiting, I'd like to go do something.
I mean, it's up to you, Proto. It's your body.
I don't know.
Do you want?
I don't know. I feel like this is something where like I want to wait to get something better if I can get it something better. But
I think if I remember it might be a minute, but we could get something better.
all right.
So I'll just close this. Do you mind if I save some of the changes? Save some of the coding changes and when they happened.
Sure.
Dr. Cal starts logging this.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a coding.
Okay, because he kind of like copies over the log of updates. So that's a 10. What did I say? I said 29 before. This is a 10, so this is a 28.
You're able to copy over the encrypted portions of this to see if maybe you could actually, do something to see exactly when these changes had occurred.
Well, Proto, and Dr. Cal kind of shuts the back of his head. That's everything there.
Yes, that feeling is kind of uncomfortable. It makes me lock up in place so I can't move. I don't really like it.
I wonder if I can... Dr. Cal opens his codex to a kind of like secret folder that he has. Like he does a...
Which codex?
Like a pretty... he wouldn't put that in his Tor Command codex. Right.
Because you still haven't gotten the TL codex back from Proto. Proto has
no,
not.
it would be in his Tor Command codex. Basically, Dr. Cal has like a sort of encrypted area on his codex.
Okay.
As I've said before, Dr. Cal does not fully trust Tor Command. Mm-hmm. He puts in a little note for Proto upgrades. Work on the locking that happens while doing diagnostics. And then he closes this like encrypted folder and just kind of slides it back in its secret little area.
Okay.
And he's like, okay. That is written down.
Now, Cal, could we potentially go and see if I know Core Command has training places. I'd like to go check them out, if possible.
Commander Carter, is he in this area yet?
You look around, you look outside, it is nighttime right now. It is like mid-nighttime. You don't know what time it is exactly, but it is definitely late.
Can't really mess with Carter. As consultants, I think we can go into training areas. Let me think. And Dr. Cal just kind of
You
goes
suddenly
over
hear the door slide open from over around the corner, and you see what looks like someone walking inside the tech ops.
Oh, the technician?
Yes.
Before.
He walks inside with a backpack, and he looks back over towards you too. It's like, oh, hello.
Oh, God. Sorry, I'm very bad with names. What's your name again? Proto, do you remember?
My name is Saval.
Sorry, it's been...
I'm going to go into my room and get ready for bed, but...
I do have a question for you while you're here. Is there a training ground? Proto would like to move around and maybe...
The Enforcer the Enforcer training area is currently not open, but you can definitely go do that in the morning.
Damn.
And Proto just like, that sucks. And you see he goes over and sits down.
I love Proto. He's great. Yeah. Is there any other questions? No, that was it. Have a good night. And he looks back at the window.
You look back at
It is night.
You look back at the
Right?
window. It is nighttime. As you look back at the window, you see he begins to walk over. He's like, "Good night." And as that happens, and you're looking at the window, I'd like you to roll me. I think you know what you want. What I want you to roll me.
Is it a discipline?
Go ahead and roll for me,
A discipline?
please. Roll me.
What if I don't roll a discipline?
Then we'll see what
That should
happens.
be an 19.
20?
That's a low roll.
No, it's 19. 19 is the number.
Really?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know yet. I have to DM harder before I'll realize what the number is.
Well, as you look out the window, you begin to feel a strange feeling coming over you. You look outside and you get a sensation that there are eyes on you. You look over and you see Savol is walking over to the door, and then the door for his room slides open and then closes. Proto looks over at you, is like, "What's wrong, Kyle?"
Dr. Cal is just kind of staring. He does have just a tad bit of fear on his face.
Okay.
And he's just kind of looking. So you said the feeling was he has eyes on him?
Yes, eyes on you.
I hope this is just paranoia. Dr. Cal just gets closer to the window.
You get closer to the window.
Yeah, Matt? Dr. Cal's gonna try having some hope that it's paranoia.
You get closer to the window. What do you do? Are you like facing the window, looking out of it? What are you doing?
He's definitely facing the window and he's kind of looking around. He kind of is like reaching for his gun.
Okay, I would like you to roll me a perception check.
I will roll a perception check.
And
That's
then I'd
an
like you to
11.
roll me another discipline check.
Plus 11, so that's a 22. And then I add a 6 on top of a 22. So that's a 28 on perception.
Okay.
Oh, and that's maximum. So that is a 12 plus 11, which equals 23 plus 4. 27 on discipline.
Okay, then. As you look out this window, looking around, feeling the sense
Man, Dr. Cal.
that there is definitely someone or something watching you. You're not exactly sure what it is. But it feels as if you can sense. And then you spot a slight glimmer atop of a building in the distance, probably about maybe
As-
800 yards away.
As soon as Dr. Cal sees a glimmer, he ducks. He
You,
doesn't know what that is, and he ducks.
as you see this glimmer, you feel like ducking, and then you hear in your head, "Do not duck." And what do you do?
Does that voice remind me of someone?
Yes, it does.
What would that reminder be?
The Kinetic.
I hope you're real and not just the figment of my weird imagination.
You-
And Dr. Cal kind of still has his hand, like, on the grip of his pistol.
You hear, face your fear.
Dr. Cal is breathing heavily.
Yeah.
Not heavily, he's breathing, like, pretty consistently.
You hear Proto stand up, walk over to you.
Dr. Cal is just looking very intently at where this glare came from. I don't know if fine is the correct word for it. There is more or less obviously fear on
Yeah.
Dr. Cal's face.
As this happens, I'd like you to roll me another discipline check, but with intellect.
You're kidding me. I rolled a 1. 13 plus 4 equals 17. That is my minimum.
17? Oh,
17 is my minimum.
you have
Yep.
a low discipline. You haven't ranked up discipline all the way?
It's not fully ranked up, no.
Okay. Well, as you
Dr. Cal dies.
feel this, you are holding still. You can feel the fear swelling up in your body. And then you hear, face it.
Dr. Cal tries doing that.
You see the glimmer, and you hear Proto say, Cal. Are you sure you're all right? You are emitting energy.
Dr. Cal doesn't say anything. He's just breathing intently.
All right.
I don't know if that puts up over the mic.
As this happens, you suddenly see that glimmer shine bright, and then what looks like a beam within about like 5 milliseconds reaches up to you, and then you see it hits the wall as Proto looks over, and you see his eyes turn like this silver and then red as you look over, and you see he's like, ugh, and he gets in front of you, and then you hear as the doors all begin to open up. You hear multiple doors open up, and rushing in is Kurter, and Savol as they both rush up, and they have weapons drawn. It's like, what's going on? What's going on? And you're just standing there. What do you do?
I have not gotten any more instructions
No, you haven't.
Kinetic.
You are just standing
so
there.
where did this... Okay, this beam hit the wall, right?
It hit what seemed like a shield of some kind that was an invisible shielding on the actual, basically on the actual building itself.
Dr.
And
Cal...
Commander Kurter is out here. Is like, what's going on? And Proto's like, there is a sniper on the roof of that building over there. And he looks over. He's like, that's headquarters. Savol, contact the general. Yes, Commander. And you see he goes over and pulls out a codex, and then goes and begins to. Was it only one shot? Proto was like, affirmative. What's wrong, Dr. Cal?
Dr. Cal's hand is very tightly on his gun, and he's looking at where the shot came from.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually thinks in his head, Kinetic, you have any other words of encouragement?
You should not fear.
I don't know if that's the right way of putting that.
All of what you have is at your fingertips. All of what you have is in your mind. Anything coming towards you, anything you see, you have the potential to control. This is my first lesson to you. Do not fear what you can control.
I didn't control it, though. It hit the shield's wall, like a shield in front of the wall.
Did you know that it was going to hit a shield?
No.
And yet you still survived. And yet you still stood there.
I mean, I assumed you had the reason for telling me to stay there.
Everything around you, you can control.
What? Dr. Cal tries thinking on this. He is not responding to people around him. He's just looking out the window.
You see Commander Kurter gets in front of you now and is now completely taking up your entire vision and looks at you and grabs onto your shoulders and is like, Dr. Cal!
Yes. So, yes?
What happened?
There's a sniper with some sort of
I understand that Savol already contacted the general. What happened? Why did you freeze?
That's a good question.
Does the general have any information, Savol? Savol was like, it looks like they were able to apprehend a mercenary from Shikari. Shikari. Damn it.
Wait, Shikari. That's the mercenary guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does Dr. Cal know about Shikari? This is a question I would ask you.
Go ahead and roll me a lore check.
Lore check. Okay, that's a 9 plus 12 because lore is an intellect skill plus 1, which equals 22.
You know that Shikari is the name. Shikari Rule is the actual name for a faction of bounty hunters who get paid pretty well for certain missions, especially like high target value missions. High value target, sorry.
High target value.
High target value.
High target value.
But yeah, Shikari Rule is this bounty hunter faction.
Dr. Cal is just like, well, apparently someone wants me killed. Well, more than I thought they did. They're paying someone else to do it.
Any other information, Savol? Well, it seems as though the person they apprehended doesn't remember even getting into Command HQ. So...
Probed?
Do we have any Nugonian officers in the area able to probe? And Savol says, currently they're all out getting ready for Directive 140.
No, it's probably not safe for me to go over there.
Oh, you are in the safest place, especially if we're around you. Proto? Yes, Commander. Keep a better eye out for any other hunters that might be within the area. And you see Proto nods. And then he looks back over towards Savol. Savol, check in with Micah, see where their squadron is at. Oh, I already did. Micah said that they are going to be landing shortly. And you see, as Commander Kurter looks around, he looks outside, and you can see a gathering of other officers beginning to march over towards the HQ area. Lights, like alarm lights, are basically combing the area. You see multiple, basically these, you know those big lights at like prison stations where they like go around and they search for anyone who is like running away and stuff. And if you get caught in that light, you'll get caught. Yeah, you see the lights, these spotlights that are going around. Sorry, I completely forgot the term for them. I hate when I do that. But
It happens a lot in this podcast.
Yes, I know. It's
Dr. Cal's forgetfulness rubs off on all.
I think it's also just me. My vocabulary isn't the best.
Dr. Cal is just kind of looking around, trying to think what the Kinetic is trying to teach him.
Okay.
He's like, what does it mean I have the power? I don't seem to have any powers.
Go
Nothing new has... what is he talking about?
I am talking about reality.
What do you mean, reality? Dr. Cal is just kind of walking off to a corner.
This is strange. It's almost like it's different from when you'd speak to the Allfather. This feels like he's
more
like
direct.
It's more direct.
What do you mean, reality? I mean, because Dr. Cal is like not focusing.
You hear, you hear Proto come up behind you. He's like, "Who are you talking to, Creator?"
What do you mean, reality?
I'm worried about you, Creator.
One second, Frodo. I'm trying to learn some cosmic lesson or something.
Is the Allfather speaking to you?
No, it's different. Reality. And he kind of looks at his fingertips. And when he looks at his fingertips, he looks at them very intensely.
Okay.
Like trying to think, what does he mean?
Okay, go ahead and roll me another discipline with intellect.
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 Disillect.
It's a disillect.
It's the disillect roll. So that's a 4 plus 9, which equals a 13 plus 12, which equals 25.
You look at your hands and you feel this part of your brain that it almost feels like it wants to click something on.
I try to turn whatever it wants to click on.
All right, you kind of flick your mind open. I'd like you to roll me a kinetic state.
Kinetic state? Okay, so kinetic state. When I roll a kinetic state, it's an intellect plus my kinetic state?
Yes, your power form.
Okay. That plus my power form, which means there is nothing else going into it. It's just straight from intellect to power form.
Yes.
So that isn't a good roll to start off. But, okay, so 12 plus 3, he gives me a 15, which means plus a 5, that is a 20.
As you look at your fingers, you begin to... it's almost like your vision begins to go in onto the actual pieces of your skin, and you can see how each line and crevice in your fingertips begin to form. It's almost like you're zooming in on your fingers. You're not exactly sure what's going on, but you hear Proto say, in your peripherals, you hear him say, almost muffled, he says, Cal, your energy is raising again.
And Dr. Cal, after realizing what's going on, well, not realizing what's going on, he's focused. He tries to look even deeper. As he's like, what? No, that's new.
You feel a hand grab onto you and then shake you. And you look over and you see Proto there, and then Commander Kurter is walking up. Is like, Doctor, do you need to rest?
Yes. In a little bit.
You hear, yes, rest.
But I want to play with this. He thinks that.
You'll play even more if you rest.
Yes, I guess I need the rest. Dr. Cal looks over at his probably, I would assume, because he just kind of left it there, semi-melted ice cubes. He goes over and grabs a few more and chucks them in his mouth.
You go over and you grab those, and you do so. As you look back, you see everyone is just staring at you. Just looking at you like, what is going on?
Dr. Cal just kind of leans back on like a couch.
Okay, you go over to the couch.
And
you sit.
Falling asleep.
You go and start falling asleep, and then you hear kind of muffled the sound of Commander Kurter is like, Dr. Cal, we're going to be heading out to check in on everything. Stay here. Do not go near the window. And as that happens, you see they all go over towards the door, and the door opens up, and as it closes, you begin to fall asleep. As you drift off, Dr. Cal, you begin to fall down and land right outside of the pyramid where you see it is the Kinetic's pyramid. The door opens up for you to walk through.
Is it in the same place it was before with like the weird trees?
Yes.
I'm guessing the shield is up right now.
You don't see a shield up.
But I do not see the monsters.
You do not see the monsters.
Curious.
You go through?
Yeah, Dr. Cal is like, he starts heading in. He's like, so, that wasn't just a weird dream.
You walk through. As you walk through, you begin to feel an energy flowing around you. That energy vibrates. And then you hear, welcome back.
Well, it's a lot better to be here this time than last time. So, did you want to show me something about whatever's going on?
What do you see around you? As you look around, the walls vibrate. You can kind of feel the flow of the energy flowing all around the walls, and they look like it's like shimmering in multiple ways, making ripples throughout them.
Dr. Cal, because he has looked at his hands with like this new intensity, he doesn't understand the power form yet, but he's understanding like, okay, I can unlock something here. He tries turning on that switch and then looking at the walls.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another kinetic state. Yes.
Okay. So that is a 9, which I think is the exact thing I got. No, it was a 5 before. That is a 21 plus 3. 24.
You look at it and you begin to see all it looks like these molecular structures all tethered into this like nicely woven web that all begin to ripple at the same frequency.
Wait. I see molecular structures because this is a lot further than Dr. Cal went before.
Yes.
Dr. Cal, like, audibly gasp with, like, excitement. It was the first thing that comes to his mind. It's like, is that molecular? Am I seeing molecules?
Kinetics functions on a deeper level than any other energy. What you must understand is that reality harbors all the building blocks that you can manipulate.
Wait, does that mean... So he's noticing, like, as he's looking at this wall, it's like these big ripples throughout, like, this molecular structure, correct?
Yes.
Is it almost like... Because the way I'm imagining it's almost like sound waves
how
going through there.
Yeah, so you know how when it comes to kinetic energy, like the actual like, how kinetic energy works is you have potential energy, which means there's nothing there, like it's stationary, and then as soon as there's any kind of momentum or acceleration, then it begins to produce kinetic energy.
Yeah.
This looks like all the molecules are shaking and are constantly moving. So there's always kinetic energy flowing through them.
Dr. Cal specifically tries to make the ripples go into another direction.
Okay.
Because he heard that he apparently has some similar power to this. He does it on a way smaller scale than the Kinetic with their giant pyramid of shimmering.
So you're going to try to shift the molecules the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like you to roll me another kinetic state.
That makes sense. This is another... So this is a 19? No. 2 plus... No, this is a 20. Straight 20. Again.
Okay. As you do this, you feel the... It's almost like you can control like certain aspects of it. You begin to turn them, and as they turn, you see the shift. And the shift of the entire pyramid begins to kind of furlough as it looks like one of those I don't know how to describe it. I forget what they're called. See, it happens again. But basically the entire pyramid just shifts its entire structure and begins to go the opposite way of what it was doing before.
How? I'm guessing you're doing the rest of it? As Dr. Cal tries, like, looking in other areas.
This domain is my own. This domain amplifies kinetic energy so that you can learn, so that you can practice.
I was able to move a molecule?
You can do more than just that, Dr. Cal. You suddenly see one of the walls, that the wall that in front of you, the wall begins to shimmer a bit more, and then you see it forms into it looks like a open hallway that goes down and begins to go into a decline. Do you walk down it?
Dr. Cal just looks around. It's like, I kind of want to go down that hallway. And then he just starts walking down it. Yeah.
You begin to walk down it. Do you remember when I told you that you should not fear? That you must face your fears?
Yes. I remember.
There are many who will come after you as a kinetic. You must learn to face them.
Dr. Cal is still walking down here, but slower than he was before.
Mm-hmm. As you continue to walk down, you hear it almost feels like you can hear the shimmering changes within the molecular structure surrounding the walls, and it begins to turn. And as you turn on in this decline, you see another chamber opens up, and you look over and you see what looks like a figure standing there.
What type of figure?
It looks like yourself. Just like those creatures from before that were chasing after you.
Dr. Cal reaches for where his gun would be if he was in physical space.
You reach for your gun, and then you hear, your initial reactions are not what you should have.
I mean, this is new.
Of course. Understandable. But it is time to train, Dr. Cal.
Dr. Cal looks at creature.
You see the creature pulls out a weapon that shimmers, and it kind of flashes you back to just moments ago, where you saw that sniper rifle shimmering. And you see this creature goes and aims it directly at you.
Dr. Cal tries. He looks directly at this. He was told not to have fear of it. So, you know what? Just screw it. This seems to be some pretty powerful stuff. He'll listen to the big smart man. And Dr. Cal, he looks at the creature, I guess, the reflection in front of him, I will call it. And he racks his old big brain. He's like, if I can manipulate molecules, what could I do? Could I stop the molecules from interacting with one another, stopping the firing? Dr. Cal tries, he tries something. He tries to put a wall that'll stop molecules in front of him. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying something. And he wants to, he's basically focusing on a point. He's like, I need to stop this, but how do I create a barrier? And he tries creating, I don't know what else to call it, but he tries, almost connecting the air together to try putting a barrier in front of him. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just making a guess.
Alright. please roll me a kinetic state.
Uh, 19.
You go and reach your hands out, and you try to create a barrier with the molecules of air that is surrounding you. As you go to do so, you look over and you begin to like pinpoint certain molecules. Like there are no air molecules at all. And then you realize that this is technically not really, like, you know, the molecules aren't. You don't really have air molecules in a place like this, because you're kind of in your head.
I have to do something with molecules for this to work.
You see
right?
the gun charging up, and you see the shimmering beginning to ripple.
I try seeing if I can somehow cause the molecules to misfire the gun, like stop the gun from firing. But so it appears to be a shimmering, correct?
Yes.
Like a shimmering normal weapon, or just like almost a conceptual weapon, if that makes any sense.
It looks like a normal weapon, but it looks like light, but also not like light. It's a strange optical illusion.
I try to like, because if it's a normal weapon, it has a barrel.
Yes.
Dr. Cal tries making the barrel weld itself shut.
Okay.
Because if the air doesn't have molecules, there's only one other place that might have molecules.
Let's see another kinetic state.
This is a 6, which means 21.
You go and focus the energy, and then you feel the molecules surrounding it, and you begin to close it up. As you close it up, you see the gun shakes, and the creature kind of shakes its body, and then you see it drop the gun, and the gun basically begins to contort into itself and closes up the barrel.
Oh,
And then you hear, good.
that worked.
Remember that feeling. It won't be as significant out there, but in here you can practice. You see the creature begins to walk towards you. Now, let's see if you can deal damage.
Oh, God.
And you see the creature begins to walk towards you. What are you going to do?
It's made of molecules, of course. Dr. Cal, it appears to be a reflection of himself, correct?
Yes.
As far as I understand Nugonian biology, they still have a spinal cord, like everyone else. Dr. Cal tries, no, he just tries ripping the neck molecules apart. He looks like at the neck, which is like, that's a mostly soft area, and he tries kind of ripping those areas apart.
Okay, go ahead and roll me Kinetic State.
This is a 9, which makes it a 21 plus 3, which equals 24.
You go and focus on that area, and as you focus on the area, you see your fingers begin to glow this blue beam that begins to form, and then it blasts straight at that neck area, and you see the neck area snap in half and then get crushed. And you see it fall to the ground. You hear.
Dr. Cal, his own hand.
You hear. You have understood the kinetic beam.
That isn't what I tried doing. So let me think. It separates the molecules. Is that what it does? And Dr. Cal looks at what he did to this thing to try understanding what his beam just did. Like, he looks at the area he just hit.
Go ahead and roll me a biology check.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that made sense within my own mind. The weird shimmer thing. Oh, this is a low roll. I have biology. Yeah, I do. I have 3 biology. 3 is my roll, so that's 6 plus intellect, 18.
18. You look at it and you see that it as you're kind of looking at the neck and how it has been it looks like the molecules probably like spun the neck around and then snapped it in half and then crunched it up.
So,
but that came from the beam that you shot out.
So the beam the beam put the energy into the molecules, causing a chain reaction that separated the neck. Did I get that right?
More or less.
So I can shoot energy to cause a chain reaction somewhere else.
Exactly.
Wait a second. Hey Matt, have you ever heard of a particle beam?
Yeah, I think so. Like the hadron collider kind of thing.
Like the hadron collider, yeah.
That's what hadron blasters were based off of.
Oh, they're based off of that same concept.
Because they do kinetic damage.
So, does that mean I could put my own molecules through them? Sorry, my own objects as projectiles. So I wouldn't necessarily have to cause damage directly to what I'm looking at. Curious. Dr. Cal tries the dumb thing he thought about. He looks at the floor. Is the floor made of molecules, Matt?
It looks like it, yeah.
And he tries specifically seeing if he could cause these molecules to make a very small pebble that breaks off from the floor. Like, real small.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a kinetic state.
Let me roll my kinetic state. Hey, Matt, that's a 12. So it's already a 24, and then we add the +3. That's a 27.
27.
That's maximum currently.
You try to do this as you begin to reach into the molecules. You try to form a pebble from the molecular structure that is on the ground, but it feels like it's beginning to bend upward for a moment, turning into a little bit of a hill on the ground, and then it ripples back through, and it kind of causes a ripple effect across the entire surface of this chamber.
The molecular bonds are too strong for me to do that.
You are trying to utilize the atomic structures in order to create things out of other things, it seems.
Yes?
There are ways to do this. It is a more complex version of the kinetic state.
Wait, there's an advanced form of this?
Yes, I do recommend, though, first understanding the abilities that you can utilize at first, and then dive deeper.
That makes sense. Dr. Cal looks at the hill he managed to form.
It is no longer there. It kind of rippled down.
It rippled back into it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand. He kind of looks at that spot. So I can cause partial deformations, but not fully break it from itself. I guess that makes sense. I'm putting energy into it.
To understand exactly how you will need to do this, I recommend forming a geostate where you can control the material structures of Earth.
It's not Earth that I'm curious about.
It is the closest to what you are looking to do.
How would I do a geostate?
It requires you to go to a land, not here.
And learn it there?
I recommend. And then you suddenly wake up, going outside and finding an area where there is a patch of grass or bushes, and see if you can control them. You're now awake inside this space. You don't see Proto. You don't see Commander Kurter. Savol is not there either.
Proto, are you around here?
No response.
Screw it. They know I'm stupid. And Dr. Cal goes to the door.
Okay, you go over to the door. As you go over to the door slides open, and you see, right as you're walking up to the door, it standing there is Operative Micah.
Hello, Operative Micah.
Dr. Cal?
How's it going? We've had an exciting night, I would say. I think I was nearly killed.
Right. Are you alright?
Alright is a word, yes.
Okay.
And Dr. Cal tries kind of like, while he's talking, kind of scooting past her.
She looks at you, like, where is everyone?
They're dealing with the sniper that was over at headquarters. Sadari Alliance or Rule? Shikari Rule? Shikari Rule.
Great. I just got back with the squadron. Okay, where are you going? And she just gives you a look of like, what are you doing?
I'm going to get some air. I was going to ask Proto, but I don't know where he is.
Well, maybe it's not a good idea for you to head out.
I mean, very few of what I do is good ideas. And Dr. Cal just keeps walking.
Wait. Damn it.
I'll be fine. The worst that they can do is kill me.
you hear in your head, do not let her come with you.
Is she following?
You see, she's like, wait, I'll come with you.
No, I'm good.
She's like, someone needs to watch you.
I can watch myself.
Dr. Cal, you've been hunted twice within the past few marks.
Yes, and do I even have any injuries from that?
You suddenly see a door slide open. It's like, hey, can you guys shut up? We're trying to sleep in here. And you see a big prime guy just standing there. He's like, ugh. And you see the door slides open. It's like, come back in here, and we'll talk about this.
Sorry.
And you go.
I just say it's a prime guy, and then I just keep walking where I was heading.
You keep walking. As you continue to walk, Mike is like, God damn it. And you hear the door slide closed. And you continue to walk over towards the lift. And as you go down, as it begins to go down, and you reach the lobby area. The lobby area opens, the door opens up. And as the door opens up, you see several officers are standing there and like they're talking to each other. I'd like you to roll me a deception check.
We're gonna fail. We're gonna fail so bad. And that, it's a 1.
Oh. What's it? 1 total?
Yeah. It's not an influence check. Yeah, it's a 1 total. Matt, the worst it could have been was a -2.
I know.
A 1 isn't that terrible.
I know. And it's insane. Because I rolled a 49.
I wonder if they noticed.
I rolled a 49 and you had a 1. And so that makes it a 50. And you walk by, you see just a slight look over at you, and then they begin to continue to talk, the officers, and you walk by and the door slides open and you walk outside.
They don't stop me.
They do not stop you. As they continue to move, as you continue to move, you look over to the side and you see a big patch of bushes over, like, probably about 50 feet away from you.
Bushes. I think that's what they said. And I kind of walk towards the bushes.
You go and walk over towards the bushes. And as you walk towards the bushes, you begin to look at these bushes. And as you look at these bushes, we're going to end the session there.
That's a great place to end the session.
You're going to end the session there. All right.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Well,
Dr. Cal being an asshole and being like, no, I'm going outside. Sorry to tell you.
Well, thank you all for listening to Entry 13. And it was kind of a weird one, but also pretty cool. I liked it.
It was fun.
We will continue. We will continue from there. But thank you all for listening. And if death comes to you, may you be reborn in power. And credits. I thank you for listening to The Doctor. Be sure to check out the official New Age campaign, now releasing here on the podcast and streaming bi-weekly Tuesdays on Twitch. A link will be found in the description of this entry. And if you want to be reborn yourself, you can subscribe as a Chosen to access Chosen creation and exclusive Codex entries. Until next time, travelers, be safe, stay safe, and if death comes to you, may you be reborn in power.